Good morning, everyone. My name is Richard Donovan. I'm a Senior Policy Advisor, Building Code Division. I am officer for the hearing for today's proceeding. This is a hybrid hearing being held in person in the main conference room of the State Building Codes Division at 1535 Edgewater Street, Northwest in Salem, Oregon, and virtually over Zoom. The hearing is being recorded to maintain a permanent record. Today is Tuesday, June 18th, and the time is approximately 9:31 a.m. This is the time and place set for a public rulemaking hearing to take public comment on amendments to Oregon Administrative Rules 918-001-0500 through 0530. So the rules today that are posted for comment are 0500, 0505, 0510, 0515, 0525, and 0530. Notice for today's hearing was filed with the Secretary of State on May 9th, 2024, and was published in the June 2024 Oregon Bulletin. I do want to note that there have been some small changes to rule language since the division filed the notice. Those changes are a result of the input the division received from members of the Rulemaking Advisory Committee convened on May 22nd, 2024. These changes are current and posted in the updated rule draft on the division website, and there's a link in the draft that will be posted to the chat. We have copies of these rules here in the room. This hearing will be conducted according to the Oregon Administrative Procedures Act, ORS Chapter 183, and the Attorney General's Model Rules. The division will review issues raised in the public hearing and will consider all written and oral submissions. No responses to questions will be made at this time in this hearing. In addition to the opportunity to present oral comments at this hearing, anyone may submit written comments until Friday, June 21st at 5 p.m., which is the close of the public comment period. No other comments or exhibits will be accepted after this date unless the division extends the public comment time for everyone. Before beginning your testimony, please state your name, address, and relevant affiliation with any organization, if there is any, for the record. If you have written statements, please provide them to me so they may be properly marked as exhibits and made part of the record. There are a number of folks online. For folks that are online, if you wish to testify, please raise your hand in the Zoom or otherwise indicate it in chat that you wish to testify so we know that, that you want to testify. And we'll start with commentary here in the room and then go to the Zoom meeting. We'll begin taking comments now. We have two folks signed up in the room. I don't have any preference on who goes first. Mr. Greenway, you walked in the door first. Mr. Tamarhule, you can go first, whichever you prefer.
Hello, my name's Robert Greenway. Hello to everybody. I live in Dallas. Do you need an address or anything? I put it on the thing. Okay. Sounds like I just got involved in the BCD recently after moving to Oregon, which I lived here before. I have grave concerns about the BCD and how they are handling codes and I guess now maybe rules, as I've been studying this for over 4 months of how all this goes. This permit ready plan sounds like basically a good idea. Sounds like it's already been gone through because it says it's supposed to be effective July 1st. So it sounds like I'm late on the uptake on what it's all about, but what it says is, I guess there's just general plans that can be approved easily by public entities or I guess you would call building code divisions in certain cities or counties. This all started with me with the city of Dallas and their lack of oversight for implementing and looking over for the well-being of the citizens. I'm still dealing with them and with the BCD. I've looked at different plans, mine and the ones that come through, and this all started because of the new code that was implemented in 2021 for the balanced whole house system. And I've looked on different plans on how they address it. It seems like it's just a boilerplate thing that they stamp onto one portion of the plans that basically has the list of sizes of houses and rooms, how much air has to go in and out and stuff. Which is basically a waste of time, because basically they figure it for the formula. So putting in the whole thing of the chart and the secondary chart for if you don't use the full amount of air, you have to double it and stuff, which I found out is erroneous and unusable. The two ways they can do that, and they don't even put it on the plans, is a HRV, which is a heat recovery ventilation, or a WHV, which is whole house ventilation. And there basically is no plans or anything on that. The new way they've gone to, because it's cheaper, is to do a intake from the roof into the return air side. And the way to get it out is now they're starting to put, which they never had before because it's not code, put in an exhaust fan in the laundry room. I've actually looked at the houses and see how they do it to evacuate the air. There's no indication on plans that they're there. If you look on a set of plans that I've looked at a house where they show the different ventilation, they have little symbols in the bathrooms that show the ventilation. They show the switch. They have it in red, the CFM. So basically they're putting in something that nobody knows. They just do it, you know, because they're supposed to. There's no oversight on it. If you look at the set of plans, which I have for the city of Dallas, it doesn't show that ventilation fan that's specifically put in there for the whole house ventilation. Nothing. It doesn't show on there. It doesn't show the switch like they do on the other ones going to, you know, the symbol of a vent, 50 or 80 CFM with a line to it, with the switch, you know, the electrical and stuff. But lo and behold, they're putting in a fan, exhaust fan, into the laundry room, which never has them before because they're not required, but doesn't show anything about it in the plans. Doesn't show any electrical thing that there's going to it. So how does the electrician know to wire to it? It just, that's why I came to this, because when they had this thing here, permit ready plans, you know, why isn't that put in there? Why isn't somebody putting in there? If the whole house ventilation is so important that they added this to it 3 years ago, and they added it because of health and safety reason. Most people don't even know why that they were added to it, because the houses are so tight that they don't breathe, and they have lots of fumes that aren't good for people, the oxide VOCs and stuff like that, that they require now that you put in fresh air and take out bad air. So permit ready plans, you know, that should be, which sounds like it's too late. You know, even the plans that are now doesn't incorporate, you know, something that is part of the code, except for a little box in there that shows, you know, the different square footage of a house and the different number of rooms, which you don't need because they do it by a formula. You know, why don't they put a drawing in there of the actual device that they're putting in, how it's going to work, how it's going to be, you know, because the whole reason this started is because these units are put into these houses, my house and the different ones at the
Mr. Greenway, I'm gonna jump in.
Am I over time?
You've had a little more than 5 minutes. Not so much about time. It's just that this is not really the comment today has to be regarding these specific rules and not general
Specific rules that they adopted right now that are.
Yeah,
Yeah, it sounds like anticipated effect date July 1st, so it sounds like it's already going to effect, right? It's going to an effect in July, so it must have already been thing, or you wouldn't put that, correct?
If you would like to give the division feedback for consideration on
Right.
the rules contained in this packet and the changes proposed in
Okay,
this packet.
okay, that's
this
fine.
is
I
the
didn't,
appropriate time.
I didn't know. I just happened to see that on there, and I've been, like I said, I've been getting involved in this thing, but, you know, the people that are involved in this, you know, sounds like there's a lot of city people and stuff like that, you know, they need to know that plans that they're putting out, and at least in my city, that they're stamping approved, you know, especially on this one issue, are basically, you know, worthless, because it's allowing the builders and the contractors to put in whatever they want, whether it meets the code or not, because nobody checks it. And that's the horse I've been riding for the past 4 months, and I'll continue to riding until the horse dies or I die. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for your comment. Mr. Stanhope.
Good morning. My name is Rabi Tamarhulet. I'm a former building official for City of Salem, and I'm helping Oregon Home Builders as director of building and training. And I have a couple of comments on two sections of these rules. The first one is the section 0515. And the purpose of this permit ready plans are to be used by the industry. But the review is proposed by the building department only, not the industry. And I think to have a product that can be used, it has to be reviewed by both, you know, the building departments and the industry, make sure that it is going to be used. The second comments is related to a section 0520. I think this section, there's a missing a time set to processing these permits. You know, the time is an essence to make sure that we increase the housing production, and there is no time limit how long to process these permits. Second is the missing a monitoring system, a system that provides data that show how these permit ready plans are used and the time of processing. If we don't have this monitoring system that provides data to show how effective this permit ready plans, we are not doing anything. We don't know, how they are used, how long it takes to process them. So I think if we don't have a monitoring system, accountability system, we will not know how effective will help at all. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. That concludes the folks that have come to comment here physically in the room. For folks that are online, would you please raise your hand, and I will call you out, or if you want to testify, you can just proceed. Please remember to state your name and any affiliation if you have relevant one. Mr. Johnson, I think you raised your hand, please.
Yes. My question, I'm representing City of Warrenton, where 75% of this town is either at or below flood level, seismic zone D2. Wondering how limiting the permit ready plans are going to be in addressing these geographic challenges that we have in the City of Warrenton.
Thank you for your comment. Procedurally, could you please just say your name for the record, Mr. Johnson?
Yeah, Robert Johnston. I'm the interim building official for City of Warrenton.
And also, Thank you for your comment. I can't answer any questions procedurally at this hearing today, but I do appreciate it. Your question will be part of the consideration done by the. If you have any further comment, please go ahead.
No, I don't.
Is there anyone else attending virtually who would like to testify? If so, please say so now. I do not see anybody wishing to testify virtually. Does anybody else in attendance, virtually or otherwise, who wishes to say anything else for the record, please say so again. This final call. I do not see anyone. So once again, written testimony will be accepted until this Friday, June 21st at 5 p.m. No other comments or exhibits will be accepted after that date and time. The time is approximately 9:47. Thank you for attending today's hearing and providing commentary. This concludes the public hearing. Thank you all.